So the only way I was able to actually get Dennis Smith Jr. back in the rotation was using Reggie Bullock as the sacrificial lamb and turning off the trade logic and somehow trading him in the playoffs to the Cavaliers or assigning him to the Cavaliers. And that would give us a roster spot in which we could put Smith Jr. back in the rotation. Don't mind that he's a shooting guard. I was just trying out different stuff to try to get him over Kadeem Allen. But this next game against the Celtics, game 2 in Boston, it's not the game that you clicked on this for. Well, shout out to the people who would have clicked on this regardless because they're loyal, because this series has actually been doing pretty good so far. But this game is not the one you clicked on this for, or at least what the thumbnail says or the title. Game 2, we literally blew them out by 16 points again. Well, we blew them out again because it was an easy game, just like game 1. Basically an exact replica. Julius Randle, 46 points in this game. And yeah, I kind of just... At this point, it feels weird just blowing out the first seed in the East like this. Now, moving on to game 3 here at the Garden against the Celtics. And, well, this first play right here kind of made me, decide my game plan for the rest of this game. Now, Rudy Gay, I run a solid play for him, or at least Fizdale did. And he gets kind of open for a second, and then it gets contested really well. So I'm like, you know what? If they're going to be guarding these plays better than the Nets did, and we have the mismatch, unlike we had in the Nets series at the 4 spot, they don't have Jarrett Allen here anymore, we can just abuse Julius Randle. And I'm like, let's just go to Julius Randle the whole game, because what else are we going to do, honestly? Now, first of all, shout out to Gordon Hayward for actually being good at basketball, at least offensively in this game. And now, with Julius Randle already having 12 points on him, I think you kind of get the gist of how his defense went. But yeah, now, while we kind of just sit here and watch Julius Randle dominate this team and shoot every shot for the whole entire game, I wanted to talk about the near future for this team, which is probably the NBA Finals. Now, as this game is being recorded, or as I'm recording this, this voiceover right now, we didn't clinch the finals just yet. You also don't know if we won or lost this series, really, because we could have lost this game. Because, I mean, look at the score right now. We're losing, and Marcus Smart's about to hit this corner 3. So anything's up for grabs right now. But if we're talking about the future, if we can advance to the NBA Finals after this game and maybe the next game or whatever the hell, shout out Mitchell Robinson for blocking away that shot by Daniel Tice and getting a block like how he does in real life from the perimeter, which is kind of where he gets a lot of them. Now, if we're talking about the near future and it comes to the NBA Finals, we're either going to be playing against the Trailblazers or the Clippers if we can advance to that stage. And, well, let me just break it to you right now. I didn't actually pay close attention to this while we were going to the playoffs, but we're the second seed in the Eastern Conference, right? If we were in the West, with our current record right now, we wouldn't have made the playoffs. The 8th seed in the Western Conference, shout out to the Celtics for triple teaming Julius Randle, but the 8th seed in the Western Conference is the Pelicans, who we lost to twice, and we have the same exact record as them. So we literally wouldn't have made the playoffs, and right now we're about to advance to the finals. So it's safe to say that the competition's a lot better in the Western Conference, as we already knew, but it's pretty crazy that the second seed wouldn't have even made the playoffs, because yeah, the Trailblazers, they have 46 wins, and we have 45, and they're the 7th seed. So I think you get the point now. But either team we play in that Eastern or in that finals round, if once again let me just stop playing around here. We're probably gonna make the finals. All right, Julius Randle literally dropped 100+ points on this Celtics team. I don't think they'll be able to stop us. So now he has 51 at the halftime just to check up on things, because of course he does. Why wouldn't he? But now with the Clippers and the Trailblazers, the Blazers, obviously it's going to be kind of tough to stop Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, and then they also have good big men. They have Hassan Whiteside and Yusuf Nurkic. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to play either of those teams. Then the Clippers, they're actually weaker when it comes to the big men, because I believe the Blazers start Whiteside and Nurkic, so Randle kind of, it's going to be a little bit tougher for him to get around those guys in comparison to JaMychal Green on the Clippers. Now, of course, the trade-off there is, of course, Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverley, and Paul George clamping up our whole perimeter for the whole game. But aside from that, I mean, Randle, maybe he'll have an okay time against Yusuf Nurkic, but we already saw him kind of get clamped up a little bit by Nick Claxton, and Claxton isn't the greatest player in general. He's just tall, so Randle against tall people usually doesn't work out the greatest. And then if we're playing the Clippers, though, we do get Randle's production back, but then we kind of lose basically a lot of production from RJ Barrett, Rudy Gay, and then even Ntilikina has been dropping off some points for us. So I think you can kind of call it wraps if Ntilikina is guarded by Patrick Beverley, that he's not really going to be dropping a boatload of points. Now, for the Celtics team, man, just to discuss things here for a second, the sliders, they're harder than even Hall of Fame. I have them set to. The Celtics, I just blame them for not getting a center, or not even a center, just a good post defender or a good any defender, because come on now, you're literally having Julius Randle drop 100 points on you. Like, in case you forgot, we literally were just getting manhandled by a Brooklyn team for 2 games that didn't even have Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant. And then eventually we figured things out, but they still gave us issues for that whole entire series. So it's not really the easiest thing in the world to play on this difficulty. And, well, if a team just doesn't have a good interior defender to guard our best player, it's just more of their fault than anything. I mean, how the Celtics go the whole offseason without signing one player that can actually bully up. They traded away Aaron Baines. That was a good defender. They lost Al Horford, who was obviously one of the best defenders at that big man position in the league. So we're going to take advantage of that. Now, Julius Randle, he has 96 points right now. And, well, if we're going to go back to talking about the Trailblazers right after Randle hits his 100 points. Now, once again, Gordon Hayward, I don't know what the hell got into him, but he was actually playing good offensively. Now, Julius Randle just matched Wilt Chamberlain's numbers for the most points of all time, which, of course, why wouldn't you expect that? He's the greatest player of all time. I mean, he's the greatest post player of all time. I've already made that pretty clear. And now he's going to break the record. So shout out to Julius Randle like I really needed to. I mean, he's literally the whole point of this video. But if we're talking about the Clippers and the Trailblazers, they're better than any team we've ever played, like, at all in this playoff run, because I've already went over that, like the records and all that. But when we look at their rosters individually, Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and a really good Blazers bench, plus Yusuf Nurkic down low, is going to be really tough to stop. Of course, we have solid defenders, but we don't have a lot of them, honestly. So we're going to have some issues stopping them there. And then when it comes to the Clippers, I mean, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Lou Williams off the bench. Like, we had issues with Spencer Dinwiddie. So it just says more about the Celtics team that we're able to manhandle them like this. I gotta say one more time for emphasis, if we were in the Western Conference, we wouldn't have been in the playoffs right now with our records. So this final series, it should be hopefully a good one, but at the end of the day, it could even be just another team just dominating us. They're much better than we are. I did not expect us to get this far, but I'm hopeful that we can pull it out in the end and get something done that we thought it was going to take a few seasons very quickly into the series. Of course, we have a lot of momentum after figuring a bunch of stuff out, and a game like this with 100+ points from Julius Randle. But at the end of the day, the Celtics are trash. They kind of just proved that to us. This team is built horribly, at least for comparison to our team. They can't stop us at all in a lot of different ways. So I hope we can do the same against the Clippers or the Trailblazers, but we'll have our work cut out for us. Thank you for watching, and I'm out. Drop a like if you're excited for the NBA Finals. Cut.